is Sierra Leone. It is a country in West Africa. It is blessed with natural beauty and mineral resources. Even though Sierra Leone in theory is a very rich country, yet its people are very poor. Since its independence in 1961 to now, Sierra Leone has experienced many unique challenges. During my quest across the country to learn more about Sierra Leone, its people, and its unique challenges, I met Father Peter Konteh at the Caritas Freetown headquarters in King Tom. Father Peter Konteh is one man who has been present throughout all of Sierra Leone challenges. But what I found most unique is his wall of art, an art that actually showcased Sierra Leone unique challenges throughout the years.
Sierra Leone, Lion Mountain, we got our independence in 1961, and as you can see, it was all smile, jubilation, dancing, and celebration. Unlike many African countries, they got their independence fighting. We got our independence in an atmosphere of celebration and joy. Possibly that was one reason why we are not very prepared to move the country forward. The British colony got our independence in a dinner party, and then we continue our life as citizens. For a couple of years, there was the joy and the celebration and the economic prosperity. But shortly after that, it was not too long that we experienced our war, our civil war, led by a corporal called for the Sankor. Actually, if you ask me why the reason for the war, I would say for ideology it was senseless. But it was a period in which it was easy to get support of the war because of the economic situation, because of tribalism, because of governance, poor governance. There was nothing operational. So therefore, when Fode Sankor launched his operation, there were a lot of people who genuinely joined him. Part of the images that you see during our war is the forceful recruitment of child soldiers. As young as 8 and 10 were forced to take up arms to fight and kill their own very people. Another image that is very predominant of the unique war in Sierra Leone was that of the amputation. So we see a scar of the war when we see thousands of amputees in the streets who have suffered and bear the scar of the war, of this senseless war that lasted from the period of 1991 to 2000. In this block, we did a graphic of all the key events in the life of and history of Sierra Leone. Starting first of all with 1778, when the first black free slave left Britain and landed in Granville Town. In 1792, Sierra Leone became a British colony. In 1961, as I said, we got our independence. And 1971, we were declared a republic. 1978, a new constitution was proclaimed for Sierra Leone. And then the civil war that I spoke about started in 1991. September 1991, a new constitution providing for a multi-system was adopted. And 1992, President Joseph Momo was ousted by a coup. 1996, a young military guy took over Valentine Strasser in a coup. And 1996, again, February, Ahmed Tijan Kaba was elected president. Ahmed Tijan Kaba signed the peace accord to end the war. And so our history, you will see, it's fluctuating, good and bad. And then it continues with coup, counter coups, war settlement, peace settlement, and then we had again elections in which in November 2012 we had the first election since the end of the Civil War, and war without the UN oversight, and President Nkrumah wins the elections. And so it continues, and you could see that there is more to our history. quite recently we've had a new president, and so we need to update our slides. So we have gone through a lot of difficulties, and as we were struggling to recover from the war, we were struck with the deadly Ebola, 2004. Ebola left many people died. Many people died because of Ebola, and there was no consciousness worldwide about the effect of Ebola. So many people, because there was lack of consciousness and there were a lot of myths about Ebola, and people were not fully sensitized, a lot of people died. But gradually, a lot of forces came together and realized that Ebola could be cured. And strong campaigns were made, sensitization were made, and then we started getting Ebola survivors, people who survive Ebola because they followed the pattern. So we as a nation have suffered so much, and just as we were getting out of Ebola, we are trying to rebuild our lives again, we had the mudslide. 2017, we had the mudslide, and again, thousands of the people of Sierra Leone died in this mudslide, which was very devastating to our nation, to our economy that was gradually picking up again, but because of the mudslide, we experienced setback. But we are a people of hope. We don't give up. We believe that the sun will rise again in Sierra Leone. We believe that things will revive again. We believe our economy will move again. So we are a people of hope, and we are a people that have strong conviction that our nation will build again. Thank you very much. Love the land that we love, Sierra Leone.